Hello, my name's Ian.
And my name's Maggie.
And welcome to this virtual tour of our garden at the Red House in Chilwell. We'll start with the narrow garden down the west side of the house next to the road, which actually is getting full of colour here. We've got red hot pokers and the lupins, which suffered a bit in the storms, but have recovered by putting up a good show of spires again. The rose arch at the end is a new one. The old one was destroyed in the storms in the winter. And we've got yellow broom as well as roses going up around it. As you come through the gate into this section of garden, there's a lovely Gertrude Jekyll rose on either side, which has got a fantastic scent. Here and elsewhere in the garden, the rose campion is just coming into flower. And the salvia hot lips is putting on a fine display here. Coming through the rose arch and underneath the maple, the escallonia is coming to flower really well this year after quite a hard prune last season. Despite the hot weather, the lawn's looking pretty green, but you can probably see that the clover is making a good contribution to help the grass out. At one end of the lawn we've made a new bed for the shade, which includes a euphorbia, a stranthia, a couple of astilbes and a bleeding heart, which is coming into its second flowering here, so it obviously enjoys the place. It's a gorgeous rose underneath the bay window here, and the passion flower is making its way nicely up the wall. One of our 3 Sarah Bernhardt peonies, the one which is in more sun, has come out beautifully this year. This yellow rose further round in the bay window has got a fantastic scent. And we've been really enjoying the patio space in the very warm few weeks we've just had. This Floribunda rose is about to come to peak blossom, I think. This is one of the oldest roses in the garden, and it's putting on another magnificent display this year. This orange rose is called Fellowship, and it's got a lovely scent, but not quite matching the fantastic scent of this bush Gertrude Jekyll. We got sent a number of dahlias in the post by mistake. Our order from a mail order company went to someone else and theirs came to us, and the company said, well, just hang on to them. So we're looking forward to a display of dahlias later in the summer. I love the colour of this bronze fern, which we've divided this year, and so got another part of it across the other side of the path, as Barney is demonstrating. The centaurea and the bamboo behind it suffered quite badly in the very hot weeks, but it seems to have made quite a good recovery now. This rose is another David Austin. It's called Constant Spry. I think it's one of the first ones they developed, and it's got a fabulous scent and is now climbing over the beach house where we take afternoon tea. The phormium's come into flower, New Zealand flax, and it's got this amazing spires, and in the warm weather particularly the bees absolutely love it. Underneath the phormium our various hostas are doing very well, and a little heuchera next to them. We moved several plants around when developing the garden, and this sambuca is doing very well, and the tree peony, which came out with lovely yellow flowers earlier in the spring. This area of the garden has changed quite a lot. We took out a very large, very old fuchsia that didn't really produce much flower, and instead we've planted it up with canna and calla lilies, oriental poppies. On the left is a berberis, and at the back you can see the Deutzia strawberry fields, which was always a popular sight. Here's the Deutzia close up. Magnificent display of flowers, again really loved by the bees when the sun is out. From this part of the garden you go through this rose arch, which this year has just put on a magnificent display. It's needed quite a lot of deadheading. I'm not sure I'm really keeping up. From this arch we come past some more lupins, and through an arch with a honeysuckle on it. It's done quite well, but again it didn't like the very hot weather. And then we come to our collection of hostas in pots, which we've added to, and the knot garden, and then the vegetable garden. The Knot Garden's got flamingo willow in the middle, which is turning into quite a nice centrepiece with cordylines around the outside. We've underplanted those with osteospermum this year, which haven't yet come into flower. Next to the fruit cage, which is full of raspberries and thornless blackberries, a big change is introducing these raised beds, which I built over the winter. And we've got lettuce of a couple of kinds, we've got cauliflower, kale, beetroot, had a good lot of spinach at the back, potatoes and peas and mange too. Next to that we've got runner beans growing up, and then the big project last year was building this 14-foot greenhouse, lean-to greenhouse, which I had to shade paint in order to prevent everything inside dying during those hot weeks. Going into the greenhouse you can see the vine, which is doing very well there, courgettes, which are absolutely loving it in here, and then a veritable forest of tomato, the cherry tomato plants, and some cucumbers and peppers in the distance. Going through the next rose arch we see the big change this year, which is the chicken run, which we've just built and got delivery last week of 4 chickens. Nice storage box there as well to keep all their food safe. This is Henrietta, Agatha, Charlie and Ruby. Above the greenhouse and across the roof of the pig house, the rambling rector rose is producing its magnificent display. Just one flush during the year, but my goodness, what a show. Well, that's brought us round to the front of the house, and this is where we would be welcoming you for a lovely cream tea.
So hopefully we'll see you next year when the sun's shining and lots of food and drink for you.
Look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.